Former Chancellor, former Minister for Equalities and soon-to-be former Chairman of the Conservative Party, Nadhim Zahawi, is under pressure over his tax affairs this week. So, Minister, what's going on?
Well, my understanding is that you're the journalist, so why don't you tell me?
But you're his colleague. Do you back him?
Well, my understanding is that he has the full support of the Prime Minister, and that's good enough for me.
In fact, Rishi Sunak has just said that there are questions still to be answered and has asked his ethics advisor to investigate.
That's what I meant. My understanding is that he has the full support of the Prime Minister, subject to him understanding the answers to the questions that need to be answered in an investigation by his ethics advisor. And that's good enough for me.
Now, this all stems from the fact that Mr. Zahawi said that he had no interest in an offshore trust, and yet he was paid many hundreds of thousands of pounds from it.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps he just wasn't interested. He got money from it but never gave it a second thought. Just because you have an offshore account doesn't mean you find it fascinating.
Is it really appropriate for a Chancellor of the Exchequer to be negotiating his own tax affairs with HMRC?
To be fair, he was only in that job for a couple of months, and most of it was over the summer when Boris had resigned, so he barely had anything to do. I can see why he decided to get a spot of personal admin done.
Really?
And if you're actually working in the Treasury, you don't even have to pick up the phone, you can just walk over to their desk. Much more efficient.
He was negotiating with them at the same time as being their boss. And I'm sure he told them to treat him like any normal taxpayer, who could fire them at any moment. Apart from the conflict of interest, was this really the best use of his time?
Well, he was replaced by Kwasi Kwarteng. I wish he'd spent more time in his personal tax affairs, then we might not have had the mini budget.
Fair point. Now, when Zahawi was first asked about this, he denied it, then threatened to sue. Was that wise?
I find that's always a good first step. Filter out the weirdos.
And reduce his public scrutiny.
Well, that's a bonus.
And now HMRC have fined him and said that he made a careless and not deliberate error. Careless is a pretty damning judgment, isn't it?
Well, no, we don't know what form his carelessness took. Perhaps he just couldn't care less.
Thank you, Minister. Next up, as no longer Prime Minister except in his own head, Boris Johnson visits Ukraine for some reason, we ask, is he trying to arrange a loan, researching his new book, or checking on whether he has any children there now?